Let us now start our day with the very first session titled Ideation and Opportunity by Dinesh Israni. Mr. Israni brings a rich experience in business and technology training. He is the founding member of Last Mile Business Solutions, a company focused on business and technology. He is also a director at Trainers Avenue, a platform that connects training providers with training seekers. In his previous role, Mr. Dinesh Israni was the founding partner at Sunray Consultants, which created tailor-made solutions to address the advertising, marketing, and promotion requirements of growth stage business. His another venture, Dinesh Israni Study Circle (DISC) has trained more than 7,000 students in basics of electronic and electrical over the past 30 years. He was the Dean of Alamuri Ratanmala Institute of Engineering and Technology. Mr. Israni is a mentor to many technology entrepreneurs and focuses on converting technology products into business that can monetize these technology ideas. Thank you, sir, for being here to mentor and guide the attendees. Sir, I now request you to please deliver the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Srishti, and that was a wonderful, introduction of mine. You actually spoke about my entire journey, so thank you so much for that. And yes, also to tell you that I am a founder member of Naman Angels India Foundation, and Naman Angels is the co-organizer for this particular entire session. So, can we begin with our today's session? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, so you're audible.
Great. So, guys, before we start with our today's session, a little bit of flashback. How we spent our 2 days. What did actually we do in those 2 days? And why were those 2 days necessary? We started our journey with understanding what we are. See, the most difficult thing is we knowing ourselves. When we need to bring out the best of entrepreneurship bugs from ourselves, we need to understand ourselves. We need to love ourselves. We need to know ourselves. We need to know our likes. We need to know our dislikes. We need to know our potential. Once we know our potential, once we know what we want to do, okay, we get into yesterday's session. That was the need and the want. I have something in mind. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to have my startup. Before I jump into my startup, I should understand what is my need and what is my want. So where I want to start with and where I want to reach. Once I have my reach set, now we get into creation, we get into the ideation and, getting into actual startups. So now is the time we need to walk our paths. We have understood ourselves. We know what we want. We know where we want to reach. Your final destination is to reach, let us say, from Bombay, Leh, right? What is your journey? Same thing is what entrepreneurship is. You need to know where to start, where you want to reach. That is a journey. Now, by today's session, I really wanted to be very interactive, like how yesterday's session was. So, will I be having some good interaction coming in from the people, or is it going to be a one-way communication? Yes, I want someone to unmute and answer that question. Are we going to be interactive, or are we going to be a one-way communication?
100%, sir. We are here to take the best of your time. So obviously, we will also contribute.
Milind, sir, it's so good to see you. You've been the most interactive person in the last 2 sessions as well. So
thank you very much, sir.
It'll be a great journey. Thank you so much, sir. So guys, the first thing that I want to ask you, how many of you want to become a unicorn? Okay. I'm sure everyone has heard the word unicorn. Ever since the concept of startups have started, this word unicorn has become quite a popular word. Okay. Exactly how many of you know what's a unicorn? Anybody? Can you unmute and please answer? What's a unicorn? Which company do we call as a unicorn company? Or could you name any Indian startup which has become a unicorn? Anybody in the group?
$1 billion company in short time.
Absolutely.
Uh,
That's a unicorn. Valuation over 1 billion is perfect. Thanks, Yash. And can you name any Indian unicorn that you know? ATM, great, Yash. Any other company? We have a lot of them. We have the Flipkart, we have Zomato, absolutely. So there are many of these companies who started off very small from Byju's. Yes, absolutely, Abhilash. That's a brilliant name to give. Sorry?
PhonePe.
PhonePe, yes, absolutely, sir. Definitely. Oyo Rooms, yes, absolutely, Oyo Rooms. Now, these are all Amazon, very true, but Amazon is, I would say, a multinational company. The previous companies were all formed in India. Oh, yes, Bharat, you have gotten a very good name, you know. So guys, how many of you want to become a unicorn? See, if you go back and look at the history of all these companies started off extremely small with one person getting an idea in his mind, working on that idea, making an opportunity around it, and walking the paths. So from the people who are attending, I see there are about 35 participants. How many of you aspire to become a unicorn? And can they raise their hands? I would love to see how many of you would want to become a unicorn. Anyone who would really want to become a unicorn, or at least dreams of being a unicorn. Can you please raise your hand? Oh, fantastic. Yes, Rahul. Very good. I see a couple of hands up, Gaurav Gupta. Yes, absolutely. Yash. Sushanto. Yes, yes, yes. So there are many of you all who would want to become a unicorn. If you want to become a unicorn, you need to walk the path. Let us walk the path. Let us understand what is an idea and how you can create an idea, an opportunity. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. The first question is, what is the difference between an idea and opportunity? I have something in my mind, right? I want to convert my idea to an opportunity. So what's an opportunity? When will my idea become an opportunity? Okay. मेरे दिमाग में कुछ आइडिया है और मुझे उसको अपॉर्चुनिटी बनाना है. अपॉर्चुनिटी तब बनेगा when my idea reaches the market. मैंने अगर एंड टारगेट के लिए कुछ प्रोडक्ट बनाया है और आई एम क्रिएटिंग अ सर्विस फॉर देम, तब तक ये एंड यूजर तक नहीं पहुंचता, माय आइडिया इज एन आइडिया. Yes, sir. It doesn't reach the end user. My idea is an idea. Okay. Idea becomes an opportunity when product, service, whatever I'm creating, reaches the end user. It gets into the market. Customers buy it. Okay. I am not pushed down by competitors. There are going to be competitors. There are going to be competitions. Okay. And of course, देखिए आज जो आपका स्पीकर है एक सिंधी है, and we Sindhis are very popular and very common. We are known to talk about money. So my point, my opportunity, my idea can never be an opportunity अगर उसमें से मुझे पैसे नहीं मिलते. Okay. तो आइडिया अपॉर्चुनिटी तब होता है when it reaches the market, when I have worked and made it reach the market. किसी एक आदमी ने मुझे बताया था कि अगर आपको आपकी आइडिया को अपॉर्चुनिटी बनाना है, there is a Hindi word, AAR. Is the path. There is knowledge plus action. That is what will give you results. तो अगर मुझे किसी आइडिया को अपॉर्चुनिटी में बनाना है, I should remember the Hindi word. Have a good knowledge about my idea. Do some action on it. That is what will give me a result. Okay. So there is a difference between an idea and an opportunity. Okay. Can we get to the next slide, please? Can we get to the next slide? Yeah. Thank you so much. Now, what happens is, when मेरे दिमाग में एक आइडिया आती है, generally what we do is we say that my idea is the best in the world. आज मुझे आइडिया है, ये आइडिया चलेगी, डेफिनेटली चलेगी. Okay. हम पता करते हैं whether the end user is going to buy my product. Do we take the pains to find out whether my idea is practical or no? Do I actually take the pains to find out whether my idea, if I work on it, does it give me necessary returns? I need to do a lot of consideration before I actually convert my idea to an opportunity. Okay. Most of the people I have seen fail because वो जो है अपनी आइडिया को पकड़ के बैठ जाते हैं, they are not ready to find out from the end user or the customer what they want. इसमें बहुत बड़ी-बड़ी कंपनीज भी डूब चुकी हैं. For example, Kodak. Okay, Kodak once upon a time was a huge company into prints. Okay, but because they did not want to drift from their idea, they had a massive, yes, absolutely, Yash, BlackBerry. They did not want to, move from their idea. They did not want to understand what the end user wants, and they failed. Okay, so जब आपके पास कोई आइडिया आता है, वो आइडिया अपने मन में रख के सबसे पहले you need to find out who is my end user. मेरा end user कौन है? Reach out to a couple of your end users. Talk to them. Do a physical survey. Don't tell me मैंने Google पे ढूंढा. Google is not the right source. Hit the road. जाइए रास्ते पे. Find out. Interact with the people. Okay. उनका opinion लीजिए. And then tweak your ideas. Tweak your ideas. जब आप अपनी आइडिया पे काम करोगे, उसको ट्वीक करोगे, फाइनल रिजल्ट बनेगा आफ्टर द सर्वे, दैट विल बी अनपैरेलल्ड. वो बहुत ही बढ़िया होगा. मैं आपको एक कंपनी का एग्जांपल देता हूं जो आज भी और इतने सालों से मार्केट लीडर रहा है. इफ यू लुक एट द कंपनी कॉल्ड सोनी. Sony has been a market leader even today. Even today, any Sony product is high priced, high quality. They do extensive research. They hit the road. They do a great market survey. And that's when they tweak their products and launch it. Okay. So that's the reason why that company is commanding a very high price. So whenever you get any idea, guys, don't think, yes, your idea is good. No idea is bad. But वो idea पे जब तक आप survey नहीं करते हैं, you need to do a rigorous survey on your idea. And that's when if you develop that idea, it will be an unparalleled. एक normal question आता है, what kind of survey should we do? What kind of study should we do on our idea before we make it as an opportunity? हमारा जो आज का सेशन है वो इसी पे आपको ट्रेन करता है हमें क्या करना चाहिए, what should we do so that my idea becomes an opportunity. Okay, so today's journey is going to be talking about what kind of survey, what kind of preparation I should do with my idea to convert it as an opportunity. शाम के chat में on YouTube पे I had seen one student का question, how do we get an idea? मुझे एक बिजनेस आइडिया आएगा कैसे? तो कल जब प्रणव आपको अपने वेंचर की आइडिया दे रहा था, he was talking about God. I know many of you are very impressed that it's something very unique, it is something which is not known. How did you reach up to this idea? See guys, all of us can get thousands of ideas. When you get up early in the morning and first thing you wash your face, brush your teeth, do your normal things, have a normal coffee, breakfast, you move out to work or college or studies, end of the day, evening you go your recreation, your leisure, and finally end of the day when you sleep. दिन भर में कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ problems everyone must be encountering. And if there is an issue, a problem for you, the problem will be for many others. And if you can get a solution to that particular problem of yours, that is your idea. That is actually how you can get your idea. So you need to think about it. You need to think about it. When you get up in the morning, till the end of the day, even if there's a slight thought that comes to your mind, that this is a problem for which we need to get a solution, that is an idea. And you never know which idea clicks. Okay, so don't neglect these ideas. Try to bring out these kind of problem statement. Follow the paths that I give you in today's session. You could be a great startup. Okay, can we get to the next slide? And if there's anyone who wants to interact or say something, please feel free and interact. Is there anyone who would want to say anything in between? Or a question?
Good morning, sir. Nagananda here.
Nagananda ji.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah. I just wanted to add here that converting an idea into an opportunity would mean analysis in three different domains. It's like converting a need into demand and then doing an analysis with respect to can I make the product, can I sell the product, and can I make profit out of it?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
So if analysis on these three domains, if I can make it, that means it should be technically feasible.
Absolutely.
I should be able to sell it. And after selling it also, I should be able to make enough profit to sustain. Just like because profit is equivalent to breathing for an organization.
Bang on, Nagananda ji. Nagananda ji, can you please introduce yourself?
I am Nagananda, placement officer at VES Institute of Technology.
Wonderful. Wonderful connecting with you, sir. In fact, that is what my today's session is all about.
Yes.
How do we walk the path, sir? Yeah.
Because once you put any of these filters, automatically ideas boil down and they reduce in numbers. Maybe some may be very good ideas, but technically not feasible, or some may be very good ideas, but actual demand in the market, converting it into demand. If there is a need, which the product is yet not, it's a new product, to identify demand requires a lot of different ball game altogether, because it's totally a new product.
Absolutely,
so it requires a different ball game. So
absolutely.
A lot of
absolutely
analysis is required.
Absolutely.
Very happy to be a part of this program, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Just wanted to share my thoughts on this.
Sir,
you were asking really, how idea is converted to an opportunity. So I just wanted to.
That's really nice of you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes. And thank you for your good words about the program, sir. I hope the students also find this session a real help,
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Thank you.
So now the question is, how do we, as sir very rightly said, there are 3 steps. What I have done is I have classified how to convert an idea to an opportunity in 4 different parts. Let us understand what we are supposed to do. Okay. how to validate your startup idea. मुझे एक idea आया है, मैं इसको कैसे validate कर सकता हूँ? I have just tried to create a very simple formula and a process for it. Okay, so can we get to the next slide, please? Can we get to the next slide, please, Siddharth? Thank you. The best way to do your entire analysis, whether my startup idea is good or bad, it is the RAMP model. R-A-M-P model. So guys, are we ready to understand what's a RAMP model? Are we all ready? Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Great. So let's understand what is the RAMP model. Can we get to the next slide, please? RAMP model में सबसे पहले आता है R. R, can we get to the next slide, please? R stands for return on investment. Return on investment. देखिए बहुत सिंपल चीज है. आज अगर मैं 10 रुपए लगाता हूं और कल अगर मुझे इस 10 रुपए का 5x, 3x, 2x नहीं मिलता है, what's the point in me putting in the money? It's a very simple thing. So मेरा सबसे पहला बात है return on investment. The first R, that stands for return on investment. So whenever I have an idea, मैं सबसे पहले सोचूंगा कि ये idea, will it ever give me a return on my investment? Just let's move to the next slide, please. Thank you. यहाँ पर मैंने example लिया था Oyo rooms का. I'm sure all of you know the owner of the founder member of Oyo rooms, right? What's his name? What's the name of this gentleman who's on the screen? Yash, you're too good, man. Ritesh Agarwal, Digambar, absolutely. He is Ritesh Agarwal. He is Ritesh Agarwal who actually founded Oyo Rooms. Beautiful concept, fantastic concept. This idea he got to him. He got this idea of his own example, of his own experience. You should do a case study of his journey. Okay, उसको ये idea कैसे आई? You know, it was a brilliant journey. So whenever you have to create a venture, सबसे पहले आपको देखना चाहिए कि how much is the investment needed. I want to ask any of the people attending, is there anyone who has a startup or has done a product and who's launching a product? Is there anyone? Is there anyone who's creating a startup here? Anybody? No one? No one? किसी का भी कोई startup नहीं है? Okay, no problem. Okay, क्या होता है when, you know, I have interacted with a couple of students and those students told me we have worked on this product, sir, and the cost of this product will be only 2,000 rupees. मैंने उनसे पूछा 2,000 रुपए कैसे हुए? वैसे सर देखिए रॉ मटेरियल आएगा 1,800 रुपए का, पैकेजिंग आएगा 50 रुपए का, डिलीवरी आएगा 50 rupees, blah 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 blah, and they arrive at a figure. So that is not the investment. When you look at investment, what I tell these guys is, guys, you have put in about 25-30 hours to create the product. Your time is valued. Everyone's time is valued. Your time is valued. My time is valued. And 1 hour is valued at a particular value, at a particular rate. If I'm in a job, I'm getting a salary. Okay. That salary is paid to me every hour, right? When I'm working for somebody, I am getting a package. That means for every hour that I'm giving to the organization, I am paid, right? That is my rate. That is my value, right? So the value to yourself even today. And then you calculate how many hours you have put into this particular project. That is your investment. You are working out of a real estate. आप अपने घर से काम कर रहे हो. Your electricity is being used. That is a cost. That is an investment to your organization. Okay. So all these parameters go calculate करके, and what is the actual investment required to make the product, the total investment that you need. So you need to find out कि एक product को बनाने के लिए मेरा कितना खर्चा होता है. You should take everything into consideration. Your time, your real estate, your electricity, your utilities, miscellaneous, everything. Okay. वो करने के बाद investment डाल के, when you actually sell a product to the market, obviously your investment is 1 lakh. वो 1 lakh आपको एक first 3-4 days में तो नहीं आएगा. You need to find out this 1 lakh plus the operational expense for 6 months. When do I reach a stage that I reach a break even? जितना मेरा investment था वो cover हो गया, और जो मेरा day to day expense है वो भी इस venture से निकल रहा है. Okay, that is what we call as break even. When my investment, the organization, just a minute. Sorry. So मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना था, मेरा वो पूरा इन्वेस्टमेंट मुझे वापस आ गया, एंड मेरा डे टू डे एक्सपेंसेस निकल रहा है. That is what we call as break even. You need to find out we are going to break even at what stage, at what point of time. जब आपकी बिजनेस का ब्रेक इवन होता है उसे हम कहते हैं रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट, ROI. So when do I reach my break even? Yes, break even के बाद जो ग्रोथ होता है, that is where I am profitable. So first I need to find out कि मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना जाएगा इसका सेटअप करने में. When do I get my ROI? That is, when do I break even? And then I become profitable. Profitable होने के बाद हम क्या सोचते हैं कि इसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को हम आगे चलाते जाएंगे. That is the biggest mistake we do. We need to work out, we need to plan कि हम कब इसमें से बाहर आएंगे. When will I exit this company? When I say exit means what? Exit does not mean close your company. Don't think about closing your company. Think about what is the next stage. Company ये level तक ले जाओ कि it becomes a listed company. You bring it to the stock, IPO कर दीजिए उसका. If not IPO, sell the company. You need to, at a particular stage, sell your company, take your money, and exit. The best example I'll give you is Flipkart. Till date, Flipkart is making no money. Ever since the Bansals started this organization, till date, Flipkart is bleeding. It's not making money. But still, what did the Bansals do? Bansals sold their shares. They had this, exit strategy. They made a good amount of money. They have moved out. Right? जब आप एक वेंचर शुरू करते हैं, सबसे पहली चीज आपको देखनी होती है, what is the return on investment? Okay, मुझे कितने पैसे डालने हैं, मेरा ROI कब बनता है, मेरा return on investment कब बनता है, मेरा break even कब आता है, and when does my venture get profitable? How do I exit from the organization? Okay, these are the 4 things which you need to work on right at the time of start. Because when you work on this at the beginning, you have set a goal for yourself. You have set a path for yourself. Okay. So the first part, R, is return on investment. Is it clear? Anybody who would want to say something, who would want to, ask a question? Anyone? Any interaction?
Sir, I have that.
Yes.
I had that misconception, or I have that fear about like the exit part. In the sense, like I mean, if I jump into something, I mean, will I get bogged down with that? That was one thought at the back of my mind, which I think you have thrown light on it, or you have clarified it today. Thank you for that.
So we need to work on a exit strategy. That is the first thing I do, sir. So,
Thank you very
to
much.
be very honest, sir, my first company, Sunray Consultant, I created, we got a good value, and then we exited from that company, both of us.
Okay.
The Trainers Avenue also that we created, we actually exited from. I exited, of course. That was where I made a mistake. My exit was very wrong at Trainers Avenue. Had I pulled on for 2 more years, I would have had a better exit. Yeah, we exited from there at the right time. So whenever you start a venture, exit strategy is a must. That gives me a clarity of my path.
Okay, thank you very much.
So anybody, any questions, please? आप सुन रहे हैं or people have gone to sleep? Is it too boring? Yes, is the session?
No, we are listening, sir.
Oh, great. Okay, so can we get to the next slide, please? Ria, can you please get to the next slide? Oh, great. So A means advantages. हमने देखा हमने return on investment क्या किया? What is how we create our ROI? Next is advantage. Can we get to the next slide, please? Advantages में the best example that I can give you is Flipkart. Okay. Flipkart जब आया, that time there was already one giant, and that was an Amazon. Okay. Amazon था. उसके सामने Flipkart was an ant. Okay. How did this guy enter the market? First, he created a great product. उसने जो Flipkart create किया was a great product. He started off by only sending books. He found out which is a market a खाली जगह है. Right. He found out there is no one giving books. He got into books. Bansal's got into books. Flipkart got into only books. फिर उन्होंने देखा कि ठीक है हम बुक्स तो दे ही रहे हैं, but ऐसा क्या करें that people will buy books from us. In fact, that was a time when Amazon was not selling books. So they got into books. Then they found out the Indian mentality, जब तक किसी चीज को touch and feel नहीं करती है, they don't buy it. Okay. It may not be today, pandemic has changed a lot of things, but previously, I would say 70% of Indian people would not buy a product without touch and feel, look and feel. Okay. इन्होंने क्या किया बंसल ने देखा कि अगर इंडियन मेंटालिटी है लुक एंड फील के बगैर वो पैसे देंगे नहीं, तो क्यों नहीं हम पहले उनको प्रोडक्ट भेजें, बाद में कैश कलेक्ट करें. So that's when they started cash on delivery. That cash on delivery really clicked with the Indian audience. Of course, slowly the orders बढ़ते गए. They had to create distribution channels. We heard it on the very first day from Rahul Chari, how they kept increasing their distribution channels, how they kept on increasing the warehousing, okay, so that the distribution channels become strong. And only when Flipkart became a strong organization did they plan their exit. Okay. The reason why it was acquired by Walmart is he created such a beautiful organization. Okay. He weaved such a beautiful organization around it. Walmart, if they want to penetrate into Indian market, they don't have to do a lot of work. सब कुछ इसने सेट करके दिया था उनके लिए. That is when Flipkart was acquired by those companies. Okay. So if you set up your organization after understanding what is the costing, the cost structure, one important thing is you need to create a rock solid organization. It should have a fantastic IB. It should not be very costly on the pockets. You should create an entry barrier for yourself. Okay. And you should also look at different entry barriers and very strong distribution network for your products. So basically, you should create a great advantage. These 4 points are pertaining to Flipkart. Whatever your product, your services, you need to create the advantages around your product. Okay. You need to create a great advantage around your product. You need to create a product which should be unparalleled. Okay. That's when you have reached up to the second level. Okay. Any questions, please? Any questions here? Anybody, any questions? Have you understood the concept of advantages? Yes, sir.
So, may I ask something?
Please, sir.
So, if somebody has already invented the wheel and you want to be in that segment, I mean, because instead of coming out with a fresh idea, validation, and this thing, if you see a niche market, but somebody is, I mean, there are, let's say, MNCs, or there are much bigger players available globally. But you see a niche, let's say, in your area or in a certain pocket, and is it a good idea to build yourself very strong within that niche, within a certain, let's say, territorial market?
Sir, let me just give you an example, sir, to this. I'll give you a very local, very local example. Okay. The analogy of which totally works. Okay. Sir, if you have been to Bandra, or anyone who has been to Bandra, there is this college called National College.
Okay.
So outside National College, there is a very popular sandwich maker who was actually a student of National College way back in late 80s, I would say. He dropped off out of college, and in 93, he put up a small sandwich stall outside National College. Sir, in 97 or 98, the amount of hafta that he was giving to the police every day was something like 25,000 rupees. That was a per day hafta. So you can imagine what would be his net income. He was bang outside National College, sir. And sandwiches would do. I mean, I have seen every student. I was having my center, my office, bang opposite National College. I got so hooked on to his sandwiches that even till date, when I'm in that area, when I come to Bandra, I make sure that I buy a couple of sandwiches from him. Slowly, what happened was, two more sandwich guys came and parked their carts just next to him. And when they came, we were all worried. We thought that what business they will do, because there's a giant there. So believe me, today there are 6 sandwich stalls and all are doing fabulously well. So what happens is, the people who are rollouts of started going to the other sandwich vendors. Sir, if you look at this particular example, this holds good in everything. There was an Uber and an Ola came in. Along with Ola, there are many other companies who have now moved in, like the CEO cabs in Mumbai. So if you look at Amazon, Flipkart created a niche. So I feel, why do we need to reinvent the wheel? If there is some giant in front of you, we can do something in a local area, okay, which will set my ball rolling. It can be done. We don't need to definitely see. Every time when we say innovation, innovation does not mean something new. It means we can do the old thing in a newer manner. we can bring about some slight change in what is the existing business. That can definitely move on. Okay, provided we work, do some brainstorming, tweak the idea, bring about some little bit of change here and there, cosmetic change, and make it look good. Milinji, did I give you your answer? I mean,
yes, 100%, sir. It's crystal clear. Thank you.
so I think the chat box. So why did Flipkart succeed and Snapdeal fail? See, Snapdeal did nothing new. Okay, Snapdeal did not even change the concept. They merely copied Flipkart. What I told you is you need to bring in some change. Correct. Again, the Snapdeal failed in its marketing bit and the distribution bit. The distribution channels were not very strong. If you actually have dealt with Snapdeal. Okay. So there were a lot of reasons. In fact, why don't you do a little bit of case study? Okay, when you do some case study on Snapdeal, you find out the flaws in their channels that they had created. Sanchali, your question is, if we have a business and we need to reach out to more people. How to reach out? How difficult is it to reach out to people, Sanchali? Sanchali?
So I have an account on Instagram that actually I have a business right now running it. It's a Kokni products under one roof. The maximum Kokni products under one roof.
Okay.
So right now, wherever I'm living here in Pune, so I have established over here and I have a good response. But I want to reach more and more people, at least in India at least. So how I can reach out those? I mean.
So there are different things. One way is piggyback on the successful people. If there are people with similar products, piggyback on them. Okay, get onto their social medias. Okay, the best way to reach out to people is social media. All right.
Yeah.
Get added on to different groups.
Okay.
Groups are welcoming you. Okay. Again, with a newer app, Clubhouse. Okay.
Okay.
Be more active on Clubhouse. In fact, Sanchali, your today's answer, this question that you have asked me, believe me, will be very well answered in today's evening's session. Please don't miss it today.
Yeah, sure.
Because
Sure,
Sanchali, today evening there is a guy who's a student. Currently, he is in the third year of engineering. Okay, and he has a very successful venture of protein bites. He's a student who has started his own manufacturing of protein bites, his own brand, and he's doing fabulously well. And do you know when he started this venture?
No, I know the protein bar. I mean, this is a brand, right?
He's launched his own brand. Protein Bites is his brand. Okay.
Yeah.
He launched it during the lockdown. So sitting at his home, he reached out to people. Is doing a great business. Okay. So he will have this interaction with him. He'll give you his example, his experience, how he reached out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Anjali. Anybody else, any questions, please? Am I reaching out to you? Am I getting too boring? Is it interesting? Yes, please. Is it interesting?
Yes, of course, sir.
Yes, sir.
You're following. Thanks, Yadunanji. So can we move on to the next slide, please? Then we come to P. P is potential. Thank you, Abhilashji. Let's talk about potential. Okay. What is the potential of my business? Where do I reach? Can we get to the next slide, please? I think we have missed out one slide in between. The M part.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Before P, there has to be M. So that slide is not copied, is it? Okay. No issues. I'll discuss. So before we go to potential, let's talk about M. Okay. M stands for marketing. Right. So as I told you, the first part is your return on investment, followed by advantage. Third is market potential. Market, basically. We talk about the market. You need to understand your market. And to understand the market, अगर आपने कल का session attend किया था, or yesterday's session on Maslow's hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy told you what are the different layers of business, correct? Whether you're going to be fulfilling the psychological needs or self-esteem. The lowest part was psychological need. I'm sorry, the physiological need, and the top part was self-esteem, right? You need to understand जो product आप create कर रहे हैं, it's coming in which part of the triangle. वो कहाँ आता है? And how well we understand the market and we create business around it. Basically, I will give you one very good example of Pranav, the guy who was here yesterday evening. God, founder of God. उसने क्या किया? When the pandemic came in, he realized that this is going to be a great market for me. Forget about the sentimental aspect. Let's look at the business aspect. He started with the Moksha Seva. And Moksha Seva is really, really doing a great job today. Okay. What he did was he has arranged the end-to-end solution for a funeral, right? He found out that that is going to be the need of the hour, added that service, got into the market with that particular service, and today he has a good name, I mean, in the Moksha Seva, funeral service. I'll give you one more example. Many of these companies, when the pandemic came out, okay, many of these companies came into sanitizers. Okay, a lot of them just jumped to sanitizers and they all made a lot of money. But that sanitizer business went down, right? Now it's gradually going down. Okay. So what money they had to make, they made it during the pandemic time. But I'll tell you, the real intelligent guys were companies like Bharat Biotech. Do you know anything about Bharat Biotech? Do you all know the beauty of that Bharat Biotech? Bharat Biotech has one sister concern based out of Pune. Unfortunately, they are my clients under Naman, and I cannot give you the name of that organization because of an NDA clause that we have signed with them. But do you know what they went into, what they got into? Bharat Biotech got into vaccine, that was sure. But apart from that, they realized that suddenly there is going to be a huge demand globally on refrigeration. Because every vaccine that comes will need to be stored. It only worked on refrigeration. And today, whenever you see this refrigeration to carry the virus, to carry the vaccine, okay, it's only their company who has supplied. Their company is supplying to at least 18 different countries the refrigerator. Okay, so they got into refrigeration, and that is a huge need as of today. So you need to understand the market. You need to have that vision in the market, what you need to create, and then you should work on it. So return on investments, you should look at the advantage, means create a fabulous product. Think about the market. Be in the market, get into the market, talk to the people. Okay, analyze the market. क्या कर सकते हैं? And then the last part is your potential. Okay. Last stage we come to is what is known as a potential. Before we get to potential, is there anybody any questions on the market bit? Market?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's a question on the YouTube live by
Yeah.
Sanil Patil.
Yeah.
He asks, what can be called as a relevant market survey?
So you need to be aware of what is the need of the hour, what's the need of today, and how much is this going to affect tomorrow. Okay, so when you get into a market survey, you need to understand, as of today, what is the need? Is this need a long-term need or a short-term need? Okay, accordingly, you need to cater and tweak your product. Okay, see, you need to be very, very, very updated with your market. How to get updated with your market once we finish with this potential? In my last 3 slides, you will understand how you can, be a part of the market and understand what's the need of the market. Okay. So let's get to potential. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Yes, sir. One more question. Namaseviam Rajapriya is asking you a question. I heard of a product which is required by hostels, hotels, restaurants. The manufacturer requesting me to be a partner promoting sale of product. Should I carry out the case study and prepare business model?
Absolutely. Why not? Why not? Hostel, hotel, and hospital. Okay. These are the 3 businesses which will never go down. Yes, temporarily the hostels and hotels would have had a setback. Okay. But once they bounce back, it is something which is a long-term thing. Definitely you should go in for it. Definitely make a plan, sir. Definitely. See, even though the hospital, the hotel and the hostel are off, hospitals have done a great business. So how can we say if our survey is reliable? Right? How can we say if a survey is reliable? Like in the case of Ola Rickshaw, if the drivers weren't into it. Sanilji, can you please unmute yourself? And I didn't get the last part. Yeah.
Or like when Ola brought out this rickshaw thing, so the drivers were actually against it. And how did Ola understand what the like Ola understand the market if the people who are already into it weren't supportive of this event, and still it's working very well.
See, today what happens is, what was his problem statement? Okay, when you look at short-term distances, okay, rickshaws are not, they refuse to ply. 2, rickshaws refuse to ply on certain journeys if they don't want to go, right? So you're stranded at a particular point, right? And I don't want to take a cab, I want to take a rickshaw, right? That was where they started the the Ola rickshaw. Agreed, the unions were opposing it initially, right? Initially, the unions were opposing it is because they wanted their monopoly, right? Eventually, when they did the survey, they realized that it's a great potential market to hit, right? If you have a great potential market, definitely get a lead. Okay, you will definitely be able to enter into it. They got into it, right? Initially, they had only 12 autos, if you know. And today, how many are plying on the road? Today, Ola Rickshaw, whether you look at Ola Rickshaw or Uber Auto, okay, they both are doing great business. So there are a lot of people who will eventually come into it. There will be resistance. Anything new, there is going to be resistance in the market. You need to keep pushing. You need to keep finding it out. The new service which Ola has started is Ola Bike. Correct. Ola Bike is having a lot of opposition still. Eventually, don't you feel for a single rider, why would they take a rickshaw? They would prefer to get onto a two-wheeler and reach the destination faster. Am I right? So you need to keep pushing. You need to keep pushing and finding out a way to do it. All right. Sunil, have I got to, did you get your answer or
Yes,
did
sir.
I not understand your question?
Yeah, thank you, sir. That
Okay.
was what I was expecting.
So let's talk about potential. For potential, I'll give you a name of, you should understand this guy, Ashish Rajani. He had booked bookmyshow.com. Okay. Guys, you'll be surprised to know when he booked Book My Show, around the same time I had booked bookmytrainers.com. Around the same time. Book My Show became a hit. Book My Trainers couldn't launch because Book My Show was booked in 2000, in the year 2000. He launched Book My Show in 2008. He had launched it at a perfect time. Timing was the essence. Okay. Whereas Book My Trainers, we were trying to launch it at a time when training industry was not ready to go online. Okay. And as a result of which, Book My Trainers that time failed. Later on, Book My Trainers today is doing a great job. Okay. So the most important thing is the timing. The timing when you launch your venture. Of course, second, very, 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 very extremely important point is having a great team. So when you talk about potential of your organization is the timing at which you have launched your venture, the team that you have made. We all make a mistake. What we all do is, oh, this guy is my best friend. So he is my best co-founder. He and me, we have a great understanding. Okay, he is the best co-founder that I can get. May not work. Okay. Does he have the skills to be a part of your team? Is he having the same fire in him and the desire in him to do the organization, to run the organization? If no, he'll be in the right place. Okay. You need to have a great team with you. Your friend is a friend. Your friend cannot be a part of the team unless he doesn't complement the skills and he doesn't have a great fire in his belly. Okay. So when you look at, or when you talk about potential of your organization, I mean, a great team. Third thing, are you ready to take a risk? When I say risk, you will take a risk when you see the reward. So according to your survey, is there a reward? And if there is a reward, am I ready to take a risk? If I'm ready to take a risk, I have a great potential. Okay. So these are the important points that you need to talk about. A great team, perfect timing. Timing is where people lose. Lot of organizations have lost. It's only because of lack of time. See, I will tell you, there was one great product which tried to come into India in 1995. That product was called Detostop, Detostop. I'm sure none of you all would have heard that product as well, because unfortunately, Detostop came to India and died a very natural death in 96 itself. Okay. What was actually Detostop? Guys, how many of you have seen the videos of Lady Diana's car crash? If you look at the car crash of Lady Diana, which happened somewhere in Germany, the car was so miserably crashed. But after the crash, the car didn't blast. Definitely, there would have been a lot of fuel in the car, correct? With that kind of an accident, there was no fire. There was no fire only because of this product called Detostop. Detostop was working on surface tension. It was easing out the surface tension. And so even if there's a tank full of petrol and you put a matchstick in it, there will be no fire. And I have seen the demonstration of this product. So when it came to India, we were the ones who actually launched it, Last Mile Business Solutions. Unfortunately, it came way back in 95 when people were not ready to experiment putting an additional alloy into the fuel tank. Because that was the time when people were always talking about the average of the car. Okay. That was a time when Maruti 1000 had launched, and Maruti 1000 had launched with a 40-liter tank, and nobody wanted to, kind of compromise on lesser fuel capacity with more security and safety. And that was one of the time when Detto stock was launched. Detto stock failed miserably in India. Okay. So it's all about timing. You need to launch your product at the right time. That's when your venture can really go ahead. So have a good risk, take a good risk taking capacity, provided you see the rewards. Rewards you will see from the previous two slides which we discussed: return on investments and your advantages. Great team, perfect time, and have your goal fit. Okay, goal fit means create proper paths, goals for yourself. Once these things are done, I'm sure you've created a great potential. You are a great potential organization. That is basically what is a RAMP model. Any questions on potential? Anybody, any questions on potential? Any potential, any questions? Can we proceed? Can we proceed? Thanks. So once you have understood the RAMP model, now you're ready to get into your, you're ready to get into your journey. Okay. Many of times what happens is you have a great idea, but your great idea is not an opportunity. We get so very disheartened. Don't do that. Don't do that. You didn't create a good opportunity. There's always a next. See, guys, I'll tell you one thing. Today I'm giving you this session. I'm a result of 3 different failures. I've had 3 organizations which have failed. Okay. Before we could start with Naman, 3 of my organizations failed. One of them was Zoom Start India, which created a great value. Unfortunately, it failed. All right. We can't stop. We need to move. We need to move. Okay. And possibly your next idea is a great commercial opportunity. All right. So you have to understand the RAMP model, work on the RAMP model. Moving further, can we get to the next slide, please? Moving further, I have realized कि मेरी idea है, and I've done all my analysis, and I know that my idea is a great opportunity. जब मेरा ये part ready हो जाता है, मेरे सामने एक और giant आके खड़ा हो जाता है. And that is competitors. As someone just asked me, Milinji, I think it was you who asked me about competition, competitors. Should we look at competitors as a challenge, or should we look at competitors as an advantage or as an opportunity? I always look at competitors as an opportunity for me. Because competitors give me an inspiration what I should do and what I should not do. Competition जब होती है, मैं उनको देखता हूँ, I find out what they are doing, and then I get my answers. Oh, this is the right thing to do. Oh, I should not do this. Okay. So when you talk about competitors, I just want to ask you, how many of you are scared of competition? Yes, please. How many of you are scared of competition? Anybody, please unmute. Any one of you?
So I would like to contradict, in the sense, I believe there is enough, enough of the pie for everybody, as long as you are able to pitch yourself in the right direction.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of pie for everybody. What happens is, many of us, many a times, get so scared of our competitors, we just recede back. In fact, that's what I'm asking. If there's any student around, any student can unmute who has faced competition. I'm sure day-to-day life में आप competition experience करते होंगे. Is there anyone who has a fear of competition? Anyone? Any of the students? Fine. When you're a student, right? You're a student and you're in a college. If you look at exams, you look at scores, there's a lot of competition. You get into sports, there's a lot of competition. This competition pulls you down. Yes, absolutely, Sunil. It's a wonderful example. Even getting a window seat in the train is a competition. Absolutely. Absolutely. So competition is there everywhere. How many of you look at competition as a challenge? Somebody please unmute and let's discuss. Does anybody feel competition is a challenge? Or is it an opportunity? Anybody? Sunil, would you like to say something?
Sir, it can be both in different regards.
Okay.
If it makes us better, then it can be termed as an opportunity. But that for that we need to have that mindset, how to take it constructively or in any other way.
Absolutely. Ritika, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, sir.
Ritika, you said it depends upon case to case, right? Ritika,
Yes,
can you share any example where for you competition was there and you overcame that competition and succeeded? Would you like to give an example? Your experience? Would you like to share some experience of your encounter with competition?
Yes, sir. I had participated in a spelling competition. There are many competitors along with me. I had won the prizes also for the. I had secured first position. First position for getting correct of the spelling that was dictated by the teacher.
How did you feel after that competition?
What, sir?
How did you feel after that competition? What was the feeling? Did you feel good after that competition or you felt bogged down?
So I felt good after that competition.
Great. Great.
I have a question here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but how should we look at today? It is highly difficult to understand who is your competition, or how to really search for the right kind of competition. Or when you're saying this market analysis, also somehow that is related to this, right?
Absolutely, sir. So what happens is, sir, when you realize that a person is your competitor, maybe a healthy competitor or an unhealthy competitor, the rule of business is, the rule of any venture is, keep your eyes and ears and nose open. Keep all your senses open. This is what my next segment is. Whenever you are into the venture, there is going to be a lot of competition. There will be healthy competition, there will be unhealthy competition. You need to have your antennas raised up. Okay. What we do, even I do, I keep stalking, I keep doing my research, I keep stalking my competition. I see what they are doing. My strategies are based on my competition. How does that happen? So let's have a look at the next step. Let's have a look at the next step.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. There are two types of competitors, sir. Okay. Yadunath, it's a wonderful question. Again, remind me when I finish this segment. It's something that we need to really discuss about. Okay. So, Yadunath, please do remind me once again. Okay. Please. Thanks.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I
Good
just,
please.
Nagananda here, sir.
Yes,
I just want to pitch in that actually what happens, this word competition is got to do more with the psychology of the person, because
exactly.
it has a psychological impact. Because any competition, we are scared of the outcome as success and failure.
Correct.
If we start not looking at basically we have to look at the situation and check how that situation can help us grow. So actually there is no failure, there is either success or growth.
It's learning
in terms of understanding and learning. So
very well said,
if
sir.
that psychology we have, there is no concept of competition and people will try anything and everything.
Absolutely.
The fear of failure is what stops the person from entering a competition. And what वो जो बोलते हैं ना सबसे बड़ा रोग लोग क्या कहेंगे लोग, that is the biggest I would say as a a stumbling block or as a speed breaker in our progress.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, very well said, sir. And that's why I said I'm a product of three failures. I'm a product of three failures. I failed so miserably in one of my ventures that I was clearly told by people that you will never be able to stand. You're gone. You're finished. Okay. So, sir, it's just about how we look at it and how we fight it out. Okay. So, guys, as Sir said, competition is a learning curve. Okay? There's a lot to learn from your failure. Okay. So, according to me, failure word is a little negative, but for me, failure is learning. There's a lot of learning involved. So, when you talk about competition, there are two types of competitors. You have the direct competitors and the indirect competitors. The direct competitors are the ones who have the same product, have the same service, bang on, they are your competitors. Okay. They deal with the same kind of product like you. Indirect competitors are the ones who have products or who have services which are very different from what you're saying. Okay. But they have the same digital marketing platforms or marketing platforms. Forget about digital media. They have the same marketing platforms. Their marketing terms will be the same like your product. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let me give you an example. Let's just get to the next slide. Yeah. Here I have 4 brands. One is Domino's Pizza. One is Pizza Hut. You have a McDonald's. And you have Burger King. I'm sure all of you are aware of these 4 brands, right? So quickly, if I take an analysis, Digambar, out of the 4, which is your favorite? Digambar, please unmute. Yeah, Digambar, which is your favorite out of the 4?
Domino's, sir.
None of them? Domino's. Oh, great. Great. Gauravji. 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 Gaurav Gupta ji. Mr. Gaurav Gupta.
Yes,
which is your favorite, sir, out of the 4?
So mine is Domino's and McD.
Domino's and McD. Great. Talile sir. आपका क्या favorite है sir? Talile sir. Talile sir. Sanchali, what's your favorite?
In the case of pizza, it's Pizza Hut, and in the case of burger, it's Burger King.
Burger King. Great, great. Srihari sir. Srihari sir, what's your favorite out of the 4? Srihari sir, any favorite? I asked.
Domino's Pizza, sir.
Yes, sir. Which one, sir?
Domino's.
Domino's. Oh, wonderful, sir. Wonderful. So Domino's has got more fan following in this group. What about my two hosts?
Sir, I'll have to say Burger King because I have my money invested in Burger King.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. That's great. And what about the, yeah,
Sir, Domino's, sir.
Domino's. Great. So Domino's wins, huh? Hands out. Now tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. When I asked you what's your favorite, some of you picked up Domino's, some of you picked up Burger King, McD. There was only one answer which clearly differentiated between a pizza and a burger. Correct. But actually, if you look at all these four brands, don't you feel these four brands are the kind of Western junk food, I would say? They're all four Western junk food. So when we go out and we want to grab a bite and we want to chill, there's always a competition between the four whether we should get into pizza or a burger, right? There's always a competition whether we should go to Domino's, Pizza Hut, Burger King, or McDonald's. Yeah, there's Sanchali. I think mute yourself, please. Thanks. So if you look at Domino's and you look at Pizza Hut, are they direct competition? Yes, they are direct competition because they are both selling burgers, correct? Sorry, pizzas. If you look at a McDonald's and you look at a Burger King, they both are direct competitors because they are selling burgers. Their product is the same. Correct? But concept-wise, okay, if you look at the marketing part, Domino's and Burger King, Domino's and McDonald's, they are competitors, okay? They are indirect competitors. Again, a Pizza Hut and McDonald's, they are an indirect competitors. Okay, Pizza Hut and Burger King are indirect competition. Right. So this is what I meant by saying you have a direct competition and an indirect competition. Direct competition is a person who has the same product. So obviously, if it's the same product, their marketing gimmick will be the same, their services will be the same. How do you go one notch higher is what you need to think. It's great to know that Mr. Pawar, you're an investor in Burger King. But actually, if you look at the market analysis, market share of McDonald's in India is a little more than a Burger King. Whereas in international markets, it's Burger King who wins hands out, right? What is it that happened in India that McDonald's became a little more powerful than Burger King?
So McDonald's was the first to reach out to India with its nuts.
Absolutely, the first time, the timing. Okay, the timing was a major advantage of McDonald's. Now, are you able to correlate it with the previous talk that I had, the ramp? Okay. Timing went with McDonald's. Timing went with Domino's. Domino's came in way before Pizza Hut, right? So the ones who came in first are the ones who stayed out. If you go out of India, okay, and especially if you go towards US, Pizza Hut and Burger King. Of course, Pizza Hut I wouldn't say still is a leader, but Burger King definitely is a leader, right? McDonald's, what did they do? If you look at their entire marketing strategy, when they came to India, they indigenized their product. Okay, they made all the products to the taste of Indian requirement. That's what even Domino's did. That's what even Pizza Hut did. Okay, if you try out the burgers of McDonald's, maybe not at a tourist place like US. If you go to some non, some generic places, which is not a very tourist-friendly place, taste out the burgers over there. You will get the taste of that particular country, right? See, I had gone for a holiday to a place called Belize. Belize is very close to Mexico, and it's an island basically, and it's a beautiful place. I'd gone there for a holiday, and somehow I was not liking the food, the local food. I really didn't enjoy that local food. That's where I saw McDonald's. And I said, I'm sure we'll get good burgers there. The taste of the burgers over there was so yucky. It was a plain burger with just one patty and some bread and no cheese, no sauce, and the patty was bland. Okay. Then I realized that the burgers they are selling over there is to the taste of the locals. Understood? This is what they do. They analyze the market and create the product over there. Right? But anyway, did you get the concept of direct competition and indirect competition? So whenever you're in any venture, you have direct competitors and indirect competitors, and your strategy to overcome them has to be different. How you market yourself better than your indirect competition is also your expertise. It's all about the game of strategies, creating your strategies, your marketing strategies, okay, between your competitors. But anyway, competition is going to be there. So what to do when you have competition? You need to do what is known as competitor analysis. When we get to the next slide, you can see the competitor analysis piece. This is what we call as competitor analysis. Okay. When you are in any venture or wherever you are in a business, if you're not in a business, you're in routine life, you're in service. First thing is look around. Look around. देखो आजू बाजू में क्या है. Okay. Identify your competitors. Everyone is your competitor. Okay. Identify who are your competitors. Everything is fair when you have competition. Stock your competitors. Okay. Do a complete stocking of your competitors. Make a one-pager report of your competition. Okay. When I run this company called Naman Angels India Foundation, I keep looking out for competition. I come across people. I realize he may be my competition. Okay. What I do is I do an analysis of my entire competition. Then I do a complete PR analysis. Of course, I do a lot of research on my competitors. Okay, do a complete PR analysis. When I say PR analysis means what? Go to whatever channels, whatever levels you can. Okay, most of the time you're surfing your phone, right? On the phone, go to different social media handles, find out the goods and the bads about your competition. Have a complete analysis. Once you know that, you know what is the level of your competition. You know who's your competitor number one. Okay, who's your competitor number two. You have to be fair and square. Okay, I can't say that Naman Angels will have a competition with Sequoia. I stand nowhere as compared to Sequoia Ventures. Okay, we are too small a company as compared to Sequoia, but they are my competitors. Okay, I wouldn't say that's my first competitor, my immediate competitor. I will find out who's my immediate competition, who's the second level, who's the third one. Then I'll find out what is the traffic going to my competitors. Say, for example, I am selling a particular product. I have a competitor selling the same product. What is the customer segment going to that particular competition, that store? Why they are going there and not coming to me? All right. I will do that particular analysis, and you can get that analysis in today digital media world. Getting this report is very easy. Get all their social media handles. Okay, you can always get into any of the social media handles. Get into social media handles, you'll get their entire traffic analysis. So I have done everything that I need to know about my competition, right? Then I start benchmarking my competition and taking out the best out of it. Always remember, guys, If my competitor is a giant, I cannot compete with him, I will collaborate with him. Okay. Just collaborate with them. Treat them as a big brother. Forget your ego. Collaborate with them. Become the small brother. Makes no difference. Ultimately, it helps you grow. Okay. So when I say benchmarking your competition, means understand what you can do with your competitor. But you need to be very aware about competition in every walk of life. You need to be very aware. And competition is healthy. Competition is needed. If there is no competition, there's going to be no innovation. Okay. So for you and your venture to grow, competition is a necessity. Follow these steps, you will be able to get a great competitor analysis. And run as much as you can. Okay. Any questions here? Anybody? Anybody? Any questions here?
So what is benchmarking?
Benchmarking is exactly working on what I should do with my competition. I told you, either collaborate. Okay. If I cannot collaborate, think about how you can, do better than them. Okay. One thing you should never do is anything negative. Think about all positive approaches with your competition. The minute you go negative with the competition, you're messed up. Okay. Competition is very healthy. All right. Don't harm him. Improve yourself. Okay. Improve yourself. Work out on a strategy. That is what I meant by benchmarking competitors. Okay. Think about what you should be doing with them. Yes, please. Any other questions?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, Rohit, you had a question. I want to start any business, but in the same business, how to survive if already there is a big competitor which is present. All right, Rohit? Rohit, I just told you. There's room for everyone. Get into it. Collaborate with your competitors. Let them be your big brothers. Okay. I says, for example, I'm having a paper making business. For me, my direct competition is all paper companies, and indirect companies, people who's having Xerox shops. Absolutely right, Amay, absolutely. Yadunand Kaman, there are competitors who play dirty to get rid of small competition. What to do in that case? Nothing. I told you, think of saving your skin. Don't play dirty. They will play dirty. It's all about how you protect yourself. You will be able to protect yourself when you have done a great analysis of your competitors. You will know who are the competitors who are going to harm you. Okay. And if someone comes to harm you, okay, you need to know how to protect yourself, right? Never ever be on the offensive. Always be on the defensive. All right. And believe me, as a businessman, when you are in a particular venture, no businessman would want to harm you. Everyone would want to improve their work. Those days are gone where people used to harm the competition. Used to happen. Does happen. You need to have a strong strategy to protect yourself. Competition is a part of life. Accept it. All right. If they play dirty, you play defensive. Play defensive. Okay. Protect yourself and move on. There is going to be, you cannot get, rid of competition at all. Competition is needed. That's when you innovate. Right. But I answered you, Yadunanji. Yadunan, did you get your answer? Great. So can we get to the next slide, please? So if you look at this mountain, okay, you can see too many, mountain peaks at the back. There's only one peak, and one flag is going to get on the mountain peak. There are two guys who are running, correct? The one who reaches up first is the flag, right? Business, life, startup, everything is like a race. When you run, focus on your run. Okay. You know, there was one Hindi movie, Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar. It's something like that. Run, put in an effort, struggle. Okay. Even if you cannot reach the peak, at least you'll be second, right? You may not hang your flag at the peak, but you'll be second. Second is not bad. Run the race. Run the race. See, I just read this message. So we are afraid of starting a new business. In that case, if I want to start a new business, what should be our mindset? Your mindset should be to run the race. Rohit, I think the last slide should be able to tell you. Be ready to run the race. Okay, what is there to lose? What will you lose? So, आप मुझे एक बात बताओ. You're starting your business. What is the first thing that you will lose? Tell me. You are at a young age. Get into it. There will be either a success or a learning, as Naganandji said. Okay. If you get a learning and you fail in the business, try again. If you want security, after getting failed in a business, you can always get back to a job. They will all absorb you. What is the fear? What is the fear? See, guys, one thing I want to tell you. Whether you're in business or in job, meaning is the same. There's no difference. When you're in a job, guys, you're given targets to handle, right? You have to do some target. You have to do some work. What you're doing when you're at a job is you're managing somebody else's business. You're doing business for somebody else. So if you do some work, do some business of 5 lakhs, you get 50,000 as your salary. All right. So आपकी जो salary 50,000 है, आप उस owner के लिए 5 lakh का काम कर रहे हो. That is how the targets are given. All right. You work for them for 5 lakhs and you get 50,000. Right. So in a job, you are managing somebody else's business. If you're in your business, you're managing you're doing your job. आप अगर 5 lakh का काम करते हो, that full 5 lakh comes to you. It's not divided. That is the difference between a job and service. Okay. So here we have a question from Suvarna. What would be the right time to launch the business if you have a giant size competitors? Today is the right day. Today. What should be your checklist before launch in this situation? Do the ramp analysis. Do your ramp analysis. Create a good business model. Make a good business plan and get into it. Understand what's your ROI. Understand what are the risks that you can create. Take a walk. Jump the plunge. That's how you can start. The more you keep thinking, karu, nahi karu, that much time it will take for you to start your walk the path. Start. What's stopping you? Just walk the path. Okay. Any questions here? Sir, how to deal with knockoffs? So, just answered. How do you deal with knockoffs? Try again. Stand up again. Make yourself strong. Yadunand, can you unmute yourself for a minute, please?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Yadunand. What exactly do you mean by knockoffs?
Sir, like for example, if I have some product or technology that's not exactly like patentable, or if it's if people can copy it, then how to deal with it?
What is the problem? Keep modifying it. Get out to the market. McDonald's के बाद Burger King आया, right? But McDonald's had the first mover advantage, right? Come out in the market. Keep tweaking your product. Make it newer and newer. Bring out different models. Bring out some new variations in it. You will survive. See, I'll tell you one thing. If you don't jump in the sea, you won't learn swimming. You need to jump in the water to learn swimming. Okay. बाहर से सोच के करें नहीं करें अरे ये तो है already. You cannot learn. Okay. Take a jump. Take a jump. Okay. You will automatically be there. And knockoffs are the best way to learn. Okay. Knockoffs are the best way to learn your your competition. So that's what makes you more innovative, and that's what makes you better. Okay. I hope I have answered your question, Yadunan.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please take the path. Please take the jump. Yeah. And let's get to the next slide, please. So before I say goodbye to everybody, I just want to give you a small introduction to my company. My company is Naman Angels India Foundation, where we have created a complete ecosystem for any startup and any organization. Okay. We are catering to startups. We are giving a support to grown organizations. We are also giving support to matured companies. Okay. We have committed ourselves. We are a foundation. We are not a for-profit company. We are an angel investment foundation company. We have committed ourselves to get you any damn support that you need for your venture. Okay. Where we support our, investors is from pitch to successful exit. Okay. So that is what my company Naman Angels is all about. You can definitely visit my website, namanangels.com. You'll get a great idea. At any point of time you want to walk entrepreneurial paths, we are always there to help you. We'll be welcoming you with open arms. Okay. You can have a trust in our mentors, and we'll be very happy to support you. So now I'm ready to answer any questions. That was my path for today. So if there's anyone who would want to ask questions or interact, say something, I'm really open to hear it out. Yeah.
So this is Gaurav. Do we have to leave? Do we have to leave a job to start up the thing, or can we start as a part-time and try out the things?
So that's a very secured way of doing it, along with a job, try to set it up. So if your venture is something which can be done at part-time, yes, you'll be secured working and doing it. But if you want to get aggressive with your organization and you really want your organization to grow, you'll need to focus on one thing. Okay. You will really need to focus. But yes, it all depends upon your personal, situation. How much security you want for yourself. Having a job and getting into business is possible. It's a secured way of doing it. Okay. But if you really want to grow your venture faster, you will need your attention. So either ways work.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Anybody, any other questions, please?
So one more question.
Please, please.
If you want to do something for society, the idea which I have is to help society. Does it has to be profitable, or you can do as a philanthropic exercise, a small thing for your community, and then maybe that idea can bigger, but right now I'm not thinking to earn any money, or it's just to help people.
Sarji, you asked this question to me, and if you ask me, I would say that if I have to do anything for the society, there has to be some motivation. There has to be some motivation. And small profits also motivate us. So what happens is, sir, when we try to do things which are free of cost for the society, I have seen they are not sustainable. Right. We may talk really big about being philanthropic, but at the end of the day, okay, this is purely my opinion. So I'm, you know, maybe because of the Sindhi in me, I'm giving you this reply. What happens is, we, end of the day, may not look at big profits. Yes, somewhere there has to be some gain. Okay. So any venture, for it to be sustainable, has to have certain returns in it, you know.
Yep. Thank you.
Sir, can I just add to that?
Please, please.
Sir, what I personally feel is that if you're talking of philanthropy and we are trying to do something that is free and all that, that doesn't come under the so-called category of entrepreneur. Point number one. And point number two is that if somebody is drowning, we want to help the person, then we must be confident that we know swimming and we will not drown along with him. So
absolutely,
there must be something to keep us alive and going to help people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So there should be some kind of earnings, maybe not by selling a product or the services,
right,
but by some means, like how Google is getting through the advertisements, you know. So the channels of revenue should be different from your channels of selling and the product that you are giving. Normally what happens is, when we set up an industry, we sell a product and that product has got a total component of cost in which profit is a part of it. And then we earn that way. Now, this profit may not be a part of that particular product or the service that you are giving, but we must have some kind of a revenue generation. Otherwise, it will be difficult to sustain. It doesn't mean if you want to help others, doesn't necessarily mean that you should be absolutely hungry and deteriorate your health and help others. That's what I am given to understand. There should be some model of revenue generation, not necessarily through the product or the service you are giving, but some alternate method to sustain, so that you continue doing what you're doing, the good that you're doing. Is my opinion, sir.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Very well said, you know. Very well said, sir. So, yes, so we should always look at, you know, our motivation. Now, for example, here there's someone who's put on the group, we need to consider Dashrath Manji. He did have motivation. Yes, absolutely. He had his reasons for doing it. Okay. So he also did that path for a particular reason, for a particular cause. So may not be just money, but there has to be something which motivates you to do this particular thing. So any more questions? Sanchali, if we want financial support, do we have any schemes at government? Oh yes, Sanchali, there is so much of money in the market which people would want to put in good ideas. Come forward. There are great ideas. There is a great support from the government. There is, let me give you one very simple example. There is something known as Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, which gives you about 10 lakhs to start your own venture. All right. There are very good schemes. There are a lot of schemes. Government, this particular government has been giving a lot of money for, you know, for good ideas. All right. So, please, you come up with a good idea. Paisa Dhoondna market where there's a lot of money. Okay. There's a lot of money. Anybody else? Any other questions?
So Sahaj this side. I have a query regarding the Naman Foundation, sir, Angel Foundation.
Sure.
And do this foundation also invest in a very initial level startups, like they have only ideated and are working on the prototype building of the product?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you can.
So yesterday you met.
There's a flow of it, how to reach.
I didn't get you. You were just breaking up. Can you please come again?
Yes, sir. Is it audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my query is how the flow goes for any kind of angel investment if you are seeking, or
so it's a very simple thing. Yesterday you heard Pranav's talk. Were you there in the evening? Did you hear Pranav yesterday?
Yes, sir. But I couldn't complete the talk. I was till first 1 hour of it.
So Pranav was a student of third year engineering and he took a drop. And that's when he came to me. Okay. We found a good potential in him, very frankly. We found a good potential in him. We had a lot of discussions with him. We took almost a year to understand him. Then we took him under our umbrella. And under our umbrella, we got him ready first to get some investment. Okay, we made him ready. All right. And then when we felt that now he's ready, we invested in him. Okay. He invested a good amount in his company. We were the first ones to put money in his organization. Okay. So that's what we do. We catch you young. We see if you have a great idea which can be, taken to the next level. We can support you. We can get you ready for investments, and then, depending upon my team, okay, we take a decision and invest in you. We have a big team. We have a team who takes a decision on investment.
Understand, sir. Sir, I have one more question, if it allows.
Please feel free.
So, if we are working somewhere in the healthcare sector, and if we have something to pitch for the rural areas rather than the urban areas, health sectors, so can we directly go away and pitch it to the ministry or the government of India? And
Why not?
So, what can be the flow of that? So,
the flow is very simple. You go on GEM, get yourself registered. GEM. It's called the government e-market. Go and register over there. Second thing is,
even if that is at a very
you need to have a
initial
good influence for getting into the ministry. Sorry?
Even the startup or the product is at very
Absolutely.
initial stage.
GEM is for the startups. GEM is for the startups.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
So that invested money, our government and even your company expect it back after our business grows. I can't hear you, sir.
What happens is when we investors and we understand the student, and then we get the investor married to a particular startup. Okay. What we tell the investor is, don't worry, we are managing the startup. We will make sure the startup grows. And we make sure when the startup grows and the startup gets into Series A funding. Okay. When they get into Series A funding, and that startup has got a good fund, we create an exit for our investors. Okay. So, for example, today you have invested 1 lakh in a company and you have 10% shares. Okay. The company valuation is approximately 1 crore, right? Because 10% is 1 lakh. So, sorry, 10% is 1 lakh. So accordingly is your company valuation. Tomorrow, when the company valuation becomes 10x, so someone has put some money into the company, all right? What we tell the investors, you're holding 10%, just take your 10% and move out. So when they go out, they have ended up with 5-6 times their money. Okay, that's what we have done with Pranav. Okay, so when we put an X amount into his company, we are holding about 8% shares of his company. When his company will grow, the valuation will grow. We will just take our shares and move out. You know? So,
Okay.
so here, Amay, what do you see in a startup, student startup, when you invest with us? Can you explain, sir, how can a student get a seed funding? What do you see in us? Of course, Amay, when we look at you, we look at your passion, basically. We look at your idea, your passion, your, focus on the venture, your capability, and your team. Right. A very simple test which most of the students just kind of fail with us is when they come to us, they have come to us with 10 different ideas. You know, when we start interrogating, when we start questioning, by the third or the fourth question, the student has come up with a new idea. The minute students come out with new idea, means they have too many ideas in their pocket. That means wo banda kuch nahi kar payega. Okay. So for me, that student is a no-no. Right. We see how well you are focused. Right. And then when we see you're focused, when we see that you're dedicated to your concept and we know that you can go ahead to your, concept, we are more than happy to entertain you. Okay. Nisha, sir, do you support all startups? Oh yeah, we support everyone. I am recently, we have invested in a film production house and we're supporting them. So we do that. What topics? What topics do we add in our pitch deck? Oh, Haji. Yeah, please. Hello.
Sir, Nagananda here again.
Something.
I just request you to kindly let us know what is the kind of documentation that is required if somebody wants to come and take an appointment and meet you to discuss their ideas and check whether they can be funded or
so we just need their pitch decks. We need their basic, the basic pitch deck. We don't need anything else initially. A basic pitch deck, because when we meet that person, face to face is when we understand more about how. Because it's more of grilling the person and finding out in what waters they are.
So
what we need
pitch deck
initially
should
is just
be for
a
how
pitch
much? Like, what's the kind of expectation in a pitch deck from your side?
So, sir, in a pitch deck, what we see, if it's a startup, we look at the team, as I told you.
Yes.
We look at the plan. We look at their projections.
Okay. And how much minute do you give? How much minutes do you give for
the plan, and the projections?
And how many minutes do you give for the pitch
deck? Sir, when I sit with the startup, I give them even a full day.
Okay, fine.
We see, sir, we are working in a little different manner. We don't put a time to the startups. Any of my teammates, when they meet a startup, they really get to the skin of the group, and that's when they take the decision. So we give a lot of time to the startup.
That's very nice to hear and very encouraging, sir. Thank you so much for the help you're providing for the youngsters. I'm very happy that you're providing such a good service to the events, to the youngsters to become entrepreneurs and job providers rather than job seekers.
We go out of a way for them, sir.
It's very nice to be a job provider rather than a job seeker. Yes. Thank you so much for that, sir.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Thanks. And Swarna, you can just reach out to me on my email. I'm putting it. Aji, sir? Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
So may I audible?
Hello. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I want to.
Please tell me.
I want to ask you that how to make a winning pitch deck.
You want to make a good pitch deck. So I have shared my email ID in the chat box. Okay. You could drop in a mail to me. What I'll do is I'll share with you a sample pitch deck which you need to fill in with the topic. Okay. So Anna, you can reach out to me at any point of time on this email. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anybody, any other questions? Thank you so much,
Thanks a lot,
Saharsh.
sir.
Thank you so much. So that's about it from my side. And thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for bearing me for so long. Yeah.
Thank you for the beautiful and edifying session, sir. On behalf of the IEEE Bombay section and the entire organizing team, we express our heartfelt gratitude to Dinesh Israni, sir, for his valuable time and insightful presence. Thank you so much.